Alright, I'm back. I'm actually going to, I forgot about that. I'm going to pop that out just so it's available. And let's see if I scroll this up a little bit. Okay, maybe I can see it then. I don't have dual monitors set up, so I'll try to monitor the chat since I've had people come into chat lately. So I was trying to remember what I was doing last time, and I completely forgot. So I think in Insomnia I was trying to do something, but Insomnia does that sometimes. I think I should probably just go to the API gateway and try to find logs, start finding logs. I think there were a couple things. I don't think the authorizer lambda was creating a user. It keeps doing this. It keeps like deleting DynamoDB. And I don't think that, I think there were problems in the Lambdas as well. So I think there were a couple things going on. What was this site get? Okay. So there's nothing in here. Let's see if this will actually send something. All right. So I'm getting unauthorized. So where's that coming from? Is that from my Lambda authorizer? Or yes, it is. Ah, that's right. It was passing a non-empty set, and then I was in here. That's why I was over here, because I was doing the Marshall options, convert empty values, so that automatically converts them to null. I still think it's kind of weird that DynamoDB won't allow you to have null or empty sets. The reason that was a problem was in users. When I was creating the users, I had all of these empty sets. That's why. But you're not allowed to have empty sets. So I think what I need to do now is probably sync and deploy. And then wait. So I think where we are right now, I'm trying to get, I think the end goal is to get these guys set up. So I want to be able to create a site, look at all of my sites, look at my site by its ID, then delete it and make sure that it's not there anymore. That's the goal. And there's a new CDK version. Whew. I'm tired this morning. Had a busy weekend. All right. This is the boring part. I don't have much to talk about right now since we're just waiting on stuff to get done, you know? It's taking a long time. Okay. I was gonna say, what is going on? Yeah, I need to change these names. Those are for the calendar API. Oh, let's scroll off. Here. Yeah. I wonder if I can just copy that all over. Bet I can. Yeah. I have to do some stuff here. Instead of an API key, it'll have to be like the Crow application ID and stuff, and then I'll go through the flow of getting a JWT. So it'll be similar, but it won't actually use an API key. It'll use the JWT stuff. But I bet for the most part I can copy and paste this stuff over. But I might actually work on the pigeon stuff off stream. We'll see. I'll start copying this over. Actually, I don't want that right now. Yeah. Might get mad at me about that, but okay. So the pigeon stuff won't happen right now, but it's there whenever I'm ready. Looks like this uploaded. Let's go ahead and oh, didn't mean to do that, but looks like we're still stuck with this guy somehow. Yeah. User does not exist. Clear all this out. Let that up. Only this was in the authorizer. Oh. I just didn't notice that before. So it probably did actually create a user, so I'm curious about that. Uh-huh. There I am. There's test at test.com. Cool. It's created, owner, reader, writer. I don't know whether null. We'll see if that causes problems later. Because we'll find that out really fast. It'll say user will get rid of the throw, so it creates a user. So if the user's not there, it creates a user, and then it generates a policy, and then yeah, then we're good to go. And the reason I can do that is because I'm trusting that the authorization service, so pretty much all the information signed in that JWT is valid. And I have to assume that because that should be taken care of by my authorization service, not my site analytics API. So if you, for some reason, are going to use this and you're going to use your own auth service, you need to make sure you can trust it. If you can't, I would argue it's not really an authorization service. But that's up to you. Alright, little by little we're making forward progress. Once I get the authorizer Lambda stuff figured out, it'll be good for all of the Lambdas, all the endpoints. Though I will say the one thing I'm curious about, because I've never actually done, let's get the code out. This bit right here, all this marshalling, I've never actually done that. Excuse me. Yeah, all the marshalling stuff, the translation stuff, I've never done that before, so I don't know what that ends up looking like, because all this null stuff looks kind of weird, and I don't know if it's going to be upset, if it's going to be upset that it's null when I try to add a string and treat it like a set. But we're going to find out, because I have to do that whenever. Oh, do I need a new? I might need a new JWT. Aha! That's weird. I wish I could just have an empty set. But it does return. But this is supposed to be all of my sites. This should be a list of sites, not just one. Oh no, this is my user. That's right. So maybe what I need to do is in the users, when I read my user. Where is that? There. When I read my user, if it's not, so first off, the ID isn't in there, which shouldn't really matter. Well, I guess if you want to like echo who you are, I don't know why it didn't return it. I mean, I can always re-inject it in. And then created. Oh, did it not add a create? No, it didn't add a created. So when I read it, what was the problem? Maybe somewhere in, maybe that's in my actual endpoint. Do I like shape it? Ah, I did shape it. That's why. So I'm only returning the sites, but I also want to return created. Maybe instead of created, I call it like joined, or I don't know, something along that line. Do I have anything in my README that I explicitly called out? List of sites user has access to. I don't think they need a no created action now that I'm thinking about it. So I'll take that out. But all of these should have empty arrays. So if they're not present, then what I want to do is return an empty array. And I think that would be it for that guy. So now let's try to create a site. Ah, okay. An error. Okay, so get, as of right now, oh, I saw X's. What in the, I don't know why. Have I not gone through this one? Oops. I don't think that's a problem necessarily. My guess is there's something else that's actually the problem, but let's go track it down. I think that one's fine. It's this one. Let me get to the logs. Sorry, I got allergies all of a sudden. Oh, I didn't send the URL in. Well, I should have provided a better error code. What did I? 500. This should have been a 500. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oops. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, that's the composer. This index. So now what we'll probably get into is I can set this. So in my port, I need to make sure that I document that I need. This is an object. Auth should have. Yep. I'll just copy that. That's important. And then payload needs to have payload name. And then to enforce this, right, there are a couple things I could do. Since this is a hexagonal architecture, I can break up the boundaries of where that validation should occur. What I'm pretty much doing with the port is enforcing that that exists. Now my port, I'm going to assume that that's passed into my port correctly. I can do that validation in my incoming adapter. And manually check that it exists, or I can do it in my infrastructure, and I am going to opt to do it in my infrastructure. So if I do it in here, actually I might not be able to the way I have it set up. Also, this is not named correctly. The way I have it set up, I define my method configurations in here, so I'm not able to actually do it in the bin. But in here, and let me get an example of what this looks like. I think I have to do it in here as well. I have these parameters and request validators. So, oh, that's right. So in here, I'll create my request validators, right? So these are the integration options and my model. So the integration options, it's not in there, sorry, it's in the models. and the request validators. So I have, I'm just going to copy all the request validators and the models for now. Bring it over here and add them in. So, what's wrong with this? Oh, oops. Oh, let's just do that. There. And here I need API gateway. And I don't need that necessarily, but so I have my request validators, which is either you validate the body or you validate the params or you validate both. I just don't have it set for both. I don't know what kind of an endpoint would even have like query parameters and a body. So I'll be using the validate body. And then I also need to define my model. And if you've ever worked with OpenAPI, this is pretty much your OpenAPI. It's a JSON schema. So we'll have a model name called create site. Let's do the same thing here. That's the type. Required is URL, which means that name is optional, and then I forget how I did the properties. I think it's in here. Yeah. This is what the properties looked like. So I have my URL, and that's just a string. And there's probably a special format for it. And then I have my name, and that's just a string. And that's it for this one. No additional properties are allowed, which means that if someone passes in, let's say someone passes in, so I know I'll need a URL. We'll call it test.com. And then let's say someone passed in new parameter, right? That would cause it to fail. This would be valid, but having the extra parameter would cause it to fail by setting this additional properties. And let me see if I can find JSON schema format. Because strings have formats, built-in formats, URI template. Oh, I guess I don't need that. Oh, that's a, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for anyway. Format. And there's like a list of formats, dates and times, email address, host name. That's the one. I figured there would be. So that means that API Gateway will really, whatever is underneath API Gateway, and they're very transparent in the CDK documentation about, there's a specific library that they use to do the validation. It will need to have host name on it. So let me see if I can find it actually. Oh, that's v2. Yeah. API Gateway. And then I need to find, what did they call it? It's a model. I think I can find it from here. REST API. And then there should be something for models. No. Add model. Model options. And then there's a JSON schema. And then in this type, There it is. So that's the package that API Gateway uses to validate. Yeah. And I hope something in here. Hostname, there it is. From Stack Overflow. I like that. Okay, so I guess it's not the most perfect regex, but it definitely gets me there. It's definitely gonna, restrict much better than anything I would make on my own. So either way, that's where all the validation stuff comes from. So now it's hopefully validated. I think that's what this would all end up looking like from the model, and then I need to find it here. Yeah. I'll just copy this, come in here, and then this is for sites post. So I need request models is called create site, and then I want to validate my body. I will mention all this stuff, like this request models with a string and all this, the way this is set up, this is Crow API specific. It very, very closely resembles the way that API Gateway, the CDK does it, sorry. It's pretty much the same thing as the CDK. The only difference is when you create an API, you need to create the models and stuff ahead of time. So I do it here, and then, yeah, and then I reference it by name. So in Crow, it goes through, creates all these models for you by name, and then you can reference them by ID. So that's why this, like this create site matches up with this create site. So, and those are the request models, and that should validate the body. The rest of those shouldn't have anything. This guy will. So I'll have to write another one for creating stats, and maybe, oh yeah, I'll need like a start time and end time for the get. But yeah, we'll get there when we need to. Create. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we'll get there for sure. Oh, this one even already had it. Yeah. So, oh yes, I have to do that. I'll go through and have to do some to-dos at some point. Let's see if that works. Was this, did I change any code? I don't know if I changed any code. Oh, I changed the comment, so it's gonna update everything. Okay, that's unfortunate. Let's see, I mean, this should work in theory if it was just the URL missing. It's not, so let's go and check and then maybe update some more authentication for me. Oh. An operand has an incorrect data type. Yeah, this might be what I was worried about with the null stuff. Yeah. So, let's see. Where was that actually? That creates site. Add site. Add site. I bet that's what it was. Let's see if we can find. Yeah, it's add that new set. Yeah, I bet it's because I called it new set. Darn. That's annoying. Yeah, okay. I thought it was weird that was an ESDK. So, I think what that means is I can't do this. Yeah. That's too bad. So that means these are all optional, pretty much. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I think I'll know what I'm trying to say with that question mark. Those are optional, which means, let's see, if those are optional, it would be in this one, when I get, if I try to pull it out, it would be undefined, which would default to the empty array. So I think it's fine if I don't include it. I'm pretty sure it's fine. But the only way to know for sure is to send it. And then this is create site. And where does this go? That's the logic, and it just sends it. I need the ID, right? Does it send back the ID? Create site. It sends back the site ID. Okay, yeah. Oops. That's the site ID. And then that goes through here, and then into there, and that's fine. Okay. Save that, and then I will redeploy it, but I will also have to delete this. Yeah. Because it has all the wrong types. I could change the types. I don't want to do that because I want it to actually like go through the full flow on its own. So let's see. Never heard of an international URI. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, I guess because I changed the Lambda layer. I bet it has to update everything. Well, now I gotta wait. waiting around. Alright. Halfway done. Oh, it's cleaning up. Okay. So now let's try to, let's just do that one. Aha, we got an ID. And if I try to get them, that's weird. It didn't add it correctly. It doesn't seem. Okay. Two of them. Why are there two of them? It's definitely there. And it's definitely a set, because that's what sets look like. What is this? Okay, so that's the site. Why did the site, why are there two sites? So I got C4, but it's not. This one must have been like the first time it must have like created the site, and then, yeah, that's probably what happened. So my guess is that 071, what happened was, in here I tried to create a site, and this part went through correctly, right? But when it went to add the site to the user, it wouldn't add it. My guess is that's what happened. Now, why it didn't return, I don't know. Because it would have read the user, gotten the data, and then in here, that's somehow messed up. Because it's definitely there. And it just returned an empty object. That's post. And that one worked. We didn't have any problems with that one. So that one's fine, at least. What if I try to get my ID? Oh, let's post that. There we go. If I try to get that. That's all fine. Why is the ID different? What? Where did that ID come from? What in the world? I think I'm somehow creating sites more than I should. So if I get it by ID, it does read site. And it added it to this one. So it somehow created a site as well. That's fun. Create is to put, and then read is a get. So is it that? stumped and kind of confused. If I do this, I wonder if it'll tell me, like, if I had enough logging in there to tell me what's going on. No. I don't know how or why it's creating a new one. All it's doing is reading the site. I know when I like figure it out, I'm gonna feel stupid, but maybe it's in that one. Let's see, if I do it again, does it give me a new ID? What in the world? Oh, because it's actually calling new ones. That's why. Well, okay, I know the post is working correctly. It just, yeah, the reason, it was my Insomnia stuff. I had it to always re-trigger, and that means that anytime I called this for this, it would call this function again, so it kept creating new sites. That's what was happening. So that was my fault. This should be never. Well, let's delete it. Let's see how that one works. That still doesn't. All right. So somehow get is messed up. So now we have to figure out get, because I think the rest of them are working correctly. At least it appears so at first glance. So I need to figure out why, not that one, why it's just not happy. I have read user. That gets user data. That's users.read. Oops. And users.read gets it by ID. It's obviously there, like it's returning an empty array. Oh, I should probably also, since I'm not going to do this anymore. That's still up in the air. I'll leave that commented out. Maybe it was that. I'll do that, and then I'll also in here, I'll log. I need my logger. And let's see what that one looks like. I think what I'm trying to do is figure out if this even returns the correct data, because it looks like it should, but it's obviously not, because it's not returning any of these. So what do I actually have now? I'll just create a brand new one. wonder too if it's like caching something behind the scenes. I don't know. Okay, let's make sure that user actually conformed to what it should have been. Where's the create? ID, secondary ID, and created. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't returning. It looked like it should have, but why was it returning like an empty object? And string sets work on, I know string sets work with the document client, so yeah, I really don't know. I'm slightly confused about why I didn't want to return the owner's list, the owner list, I should say. Since I changed the database stuff, it has to update all the layers again. That's why all that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And we'll start from here. Create one. Oh no. Oh, I wonder if that had empty stuff in it. I bet it did. Ah, darn. Yeah. Shoot. Yep. I'll redeploy it. Just want to make sure this operation is correct. I didn't know about that. Where's my add a site? Okay, I do call out set. I've never used this. Document client create set. I always just use the type. Nice. Okay, so I don't think I'm off by doing something like this on empty sets or attributes that don't exist. I don't think I am. So I don't know. I'm confused by why it wouldn't return everything. Well, let's make sure that right now it should be an empty array. There it goes, okay. The empty array is correct. All right. Let's create the site. Okay, it's created. Now when we get it, I don't understand. But let's go in here. Was it this one? No, there's no way. And I need this tab, CloudWatch. It doesn't even return it. But it's here. How bizarre. It really doesn't return it. That's weird. I mean, it's definitely this item, but it doesn't return the string set. Okay, that's new. I mean, make sure the secondary ID is this. This is user source read. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's that? I can't see how or why. It's obviously returning the item because I have the created an ID. So it's returning the item. So it's not catching here, which means that this is actually destructuring. It's taking the secondary ID out. But then it acts like the owner doesn't exist. Well, it doesn't do that. It knows the owner exists. It just doesn't return the information in it. I don't think I've ever had to do anything to get this to work before. And I don't think it's an eventual consistency thing because I can see it in the console. I know it exists. I don't know what's wrong with it. This is the only thing I can think of. Maybe I just return that. Because I do pull the data out there. I don't know. Do I have the logger in here? That'll at least give me everything from DynamoDB. But I don't know what... I don't know what could be causing it to not... It acts like it's there. Like it knows that owner exists. Because it doesn't send it before and then it sends it afterwards. And the format, like this all, the format looks correct. Insert a field. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Gonna find out though. I mean, if it is the destructuring stuff, then I just won't do that anymore. But I don't see how that could be the problem. Like it's, yeah, I don't know. Now that all the information is going to be out there and logged, it should be fairly, well, I don't want to say transparent because it obviously isn't if that attribute exists, but it's not being sent back to me. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of waiting with this stuff, but alright, well that didn't fix it, so there's something else going on. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know what the problem is. It's all there. Maybe I can look in CloudTrail or something, but I mean, it's all there. It's just not returning it. let's see. What if maybe it is in the wrong format. Let's delete that. Let's add a new attribute for a string set. And we'll call it owner. Does that do it? That doesn't do it either. I don't know. I don't know. Let's call it, what's it? Reader is another one, right? Oops. Let's try that. I don't know why it's not returning these string sets. Is it in here? It's like it wants to, but it won't. I'm confused. I've never had this before. This is completely new to me. It's there. It just won't read it. I don't know. I'm doing a get, aren't I? Document client dot get. Let's see. I think in the calendar API I use string sets. No. Where else do I use string sets? Yeah, there we go. These use string sets, and these look fine. Oh. What table was I looking at? Oh, there it goes. Okay, that's bizarre. I mean, if someone knows, please tell me. But I have never seen something like this before. It just won't return them. Maybe it's the user. Let's just delete it. That recreates it, right? Oh, no, it didn't. I probably need a new JWT. I do not understand. And this is the table it's all pulling from, right? Yeah. Well, I'm very confused. Oh, these are both called owner. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I don't know why it won't pull this information. This is new to me. Let's see. This one will pull it. And let's see if I add. I'll just add one to this. Right? It's called admins. It does it there too. What in the world? That one can get them. Let's see. So I know Papyrus works. Oops. Does it use... I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't use the document client. It just uses the normal stuff. But it knows, I mean, it can get it. I don't know. I'm very confused. I've never seen this before. It just won't return. Well, where's the... I can get to the source from here, can't I? No. That's not what I wanted. I want the... I want GitHub. Not the README. Maybe it's in those. Maybe something with the Marshall, non-Marshall. have an idea. Let's do this as a list. Let's see if it can return a list. It can return a list, it just can't return a string set. That looks weird. I don't think it renders that correctly. Ah. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe I do have to do this create set. Never done it before, but I mean, I need to work on something else on this side real quick. But maybe it is the way it unmarshals it. I don't know. Convert to adder, maybe. Convert to set. I kind of want to say that part of this is the way that it's marshaled and unmarshaled. Unmarshaled, rather. I, I kind of want to think that it's something to do in this, the way it's created. What version is this? What version do I have? Reset. Oh, okay. It is updated, it looks like. update both of these. I don't know if this is the problem or not, but is it not updated in NPM? Oh, it's 87 in NPM. That's client. What about lib? Okay. That's what I think. I'll try this, and I mean, if it doesn't work, I don't know. Maybe I'll create an issue and see if someone can get back to me. But I don't know why it's not. I'm kind of. I mean, of course, you're gonna put blame on someone else, but I don't think. I mean, this is all like AWS stuff, and I know that string sets are working and returning because they still return on other applications that I've written. I don't know when this happened. Let's see. Let's do a. Well, I haven't ever used the document client, so that is new. Just 2 years ago. I mean, that seems pretty good to me. I mean, if it's been going this long, surely someone would have like. Oh wow! Look at that. Well, then Tribicon. I don't know, man. I feel like something's funky with that. If it's just returning an object, I don't know. I don't know. Something doesn't sit right that it knows it something is returned. It's just returned as an empty object instead of a set. I think that's what's really throwing me off. That's what doesn't add up. I don't know. Let's just look at issues. Oh, that's. I'll go back. What's main? Let's see if there's anything about string sets. Ah, look at that. You have to convert it to an array? What? Maybe that's it. Huh. Maybe I'll here. Well, this is let's look at the code. I probably need to refresh completely. That did deploy, so let's do that. So maybe this is maybe his point is that you have to convert it to an array. I don't know. Let's try that. I mean, maybe. Okay. There's the problem. So I guess, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I've never used this before, which is probably why it was all weird to me. So I think I understand the problem now. I don't know if it was necessarily a problem, but what happened was everything in the document client functioned as intended. So it converted this to a set. So now this is a set, and my guess is when I convert it, or sorry, not convert it, this is a set, and when I return that to API Gateway, API Gateway does not like that it is a set and stringifies that, returns that, because it probably uses JSON.stringify as an empty object instead of an array. And because it is a string set, which is fair, DynamoDB, or the document client, not DynamoDB, the document client returns it as a set, but API Gateway does not like a return being a set. So it just outputs it as an empty object, even though that data is all still there. Okay, so it is correct. It's just this right here is a set, and it needs to be converted to an array before it's returned. So it can return that, and that's fine. It just can't do it if it's a set. I guess that kind of makes sense. Maybe. So when I go through all these, well, first off, this is all mangled now. I'll just delete these. Oh boy. That was an interesting rabbit hole to go down. I'm glad I found that issue though, that GitHub issue. So when I read the site, I'm wondering if that should be in here, or if that should be in here. I might want to put it in here. put it in here because I can do these operations on sets, and it's much faster to do those operations on sets than it is arrays. So I do want to keep this. And this returns user data. I don't need that. Okay. And then sites, this will also be interesting. So in here, when I read, so I probably shouldn't do this. I feel like this could cause an error because those are optional now. After I do the sites.read, right? So these are optional. The admin, reader, writer, those are all optional lists. So I need to check if the list exists first. So if list and it includes, but it's not a because it's a has, that's it, yeah. That's what we're looking for. Set prototype.has. And that's, I think it's bigger than 1. Does it have an includes? It doesn't even have an includes. So what? Read and delete? But this worked before. I don't know how that worked. I don't know how that worked before. But these should be sets. So I'll explicitly say that those are string sets. And then in user, I'll also explicitly say that. All right. They are string sets. And that's what is returned. And here it checks it. That's just an array. So that push is fine, but then in site data, it should be list.has. And then any other operations get the benefit of being a set, and then they have to explicitly return an array. So site data, whenever I get my site data, these admin, writer, reader, why are there 2 readers? Admins, writers, and readers should be converted to arrays. Yeah. So let's do admins, writers, readers is equal to site data. Do site data dot is equal to array from admins. Writers, readers. I don't know if that works or not, but let's find out. And this should all be deleted. So that's all cleared. And I am going to say that that needs to be refreshed. Oh. Why won't it? It won't get a new JVT. That was quite a problem to track down. I will, I'll definitely add that information into, I think you probably saw, I have written an article about using the document client. And I didn't even know that this was a thing. So I'll definitely edit that blog post and include that you have to explicitly set sets as arrays in order to be able to push them out as arrays. That's, yeah, that's new to me. I don't think I had experienced that one before. Well, it's not for so long, but I mean, I know now that's all part of it, so interesting. I'm gonna hope this works, that this latest deploy works. I'm probably gonna be done after it anyways, just because I feel like I've been on for a long time. But yeah, that was a deeper hole than I expected to go down. So, but we know now, and that's all part of it. So I think this would be done because I think the rest of these worked. I think this with the array was the only problem. Because this worked as long as the set is there. The delete worked, and then that one would work too. But the post works, and that's a large portion of it. So let's see if it actually creates a new user. Okay, so that, yeah, that worked. Owner URL. They both have created, so there's test. It has. All right. Cross your fingers. Oh, I think I know what happened. Yeah, it's because they don't exist. So I try to convert. Yeah, but show me what happens. I tried to convert to an array, but it doesn't exist. Undefined, yeah. So what I need to do is, well, this. I can do that. That's one option. For sites, that is. So that sets the default when I deconstruct it. And then this one, I'll do the same pattern actually. I kind of like that pattern. Right. So I'll pull it out. The owner, admin, writer, reader. So these just need to lose an S. There's that. And then add owner equals empty array. And then this becomes owner. Oh, I redid the whole thing. That's why I did it the way I did. That's fine. There. So pull them out, default them to an empty array if they don't exist, and then I turn them into an array. I think you can do, I don't know, let's find out. Or just that array from okay, yeah. So it did print out. So you can do an array from an array. So it'll default these to empty arrays if they don't exist, and then I'll do array from if they do, so that'll convert the sets to the, okay. I think that's a better place. Um, I'll deploy this, and yeah, I hope this is the last one. I always get caught up in this cycle of like, it'll be the last thing, and then I catch something else, and then I decide to fix it, and then, yeah. It's all part of it. But everything in the database looks correct, the way it's all situated. So now it's just this. The owner. So that's, yeah, that is kind of weird that it, when you log a set, it just logs it as an empty object. Yeah, I think it's different than what I'm looking at, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad I figured it out. It's gonna have to happen eventually. Um, but yeah, this guy's, thank you, Sashi Tamasalai. You're a pal. Is that Hungary? Are you Hungarian? Advanced web machinery. Well, I appreciate your comment. You saved my day. Alright, let's try again. If we get it, there it is. And if we get it by ID, woohoo! Now if I delete it, get it again. Oh. Oh. There's a bug for next time. Deletes it, but it doesn't delete it from there. So what was the problem? I delete a site, stop remove. Oh, and then I also need to do a users dot. Users dot remove site. Unique ID, set ID. Yep. Those guys could go in parallel. Yeah. Okay, and now I'm actually going to end it. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. That was a deep dive, one that I didn't really expect to go into, but yeah, thanks for bearing with me if you did. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something from it. I hope it was somewhat entertaining. I'm sure this one was a little slow just with all the confusion. But if you want to use any of this, please let me know. Please reach out. I'm more than happy to help people like get it set up or anything in its final state. It's currently not in its final state, obviously, but we'll get there. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you in the next one. Maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. But, you know, we'll see.